Guys, welcome back to Eddie's Speed Garage. I'm Ed. This is my 92 Camaro Z28, 84,000 miles, nice car. I've been having some issues with a little bit of steering wheel shake between 35 and 40 miles an hour. The whole front end is brand new on this thing, even all the way down to the ball joints and the polyurethane bushings. I would say it's made it better, but there's also a little bit of slop in the steering wheel anyways. So I've checked for the cracks around the steering box. I wasn't able to find any, and I feel like the rag joint might be the culprit, even though I did replace the rag joint specifically with a brand new piece from Hawk's 3rd gen. And I can show you while the car is sitting here how much deflection that has just by turning the wheel a little bit. So we're gonna do the Astro van upgrade. I got it from a guy on Facebook, and he also included the bearing upgrade with it for $125. All right, so just by moving the wheel back and forth a little bit. You can see how that thing just jumps up and down. So these are the parts we're dealing with here. This is a complete shaft out of an Astro van. Let's see, one side, not this side, but this side gets taken off, turned around, and put back on and welded. This here is the steering shaft bearing assembly, and this is actually a used piece that was cleaned up, repainted, got ready for us, and re-greased. And this replaces your stock one that's just a plastic piece like this all the way through. There's no actual bearing in it at all. All right, so first things first with this, you're gonna pull this sleeve back, just a protective cover. Now you can see down in there, that brand new Hawk's rag joint. Or maybe now you can see it. But there's one bolt down there, and then there's another pinch bolt up at the top. We're gonna take those out next. All right, so this first bolt, 13 millimeter, you could use a little bit of a wobble on there. Zip it right up. And a few lines, no, my power steering lines are right there anyway, so. That one's out. All right, the next one to do is the 15 millimeter bolt up here. It's a through bolt. If you have with a square head, so the one side will just automatically lock on for you. But if you have a ratcheting wrench, like I do, it'll make your life a lot easier. Having headers makes things a little bit more difficult for you to get your hands in there. She might want a little persuasion there. And she's on the floor. So that was the easy part. Getting the shaft out is a little bit more difficult. So we're gonna move on to the next. I'm gonna need to pry this back in a little bit. Try to get the thing as short as I can will make it easier for me to get it out. I'm gonna save this part just in case I ever wanna get rid of the car and somebody wants it more original than it is, they can have it. So I'm just gonna go in here with my flathead screwdriver. I'm gonna pry against the bottom here, so you gotta work your way back and forth. There she goes, she's off, and she's getting shorter. There we go, and then nice and pushed back. So I apologize in advance if there's any cussing during this part, but this is where things get a little interesting. So just reach down here wiggle it, wiggle it, wiggle it. Almost there. There we go. That's off. Now what you gotta do, sneak it down through this little exit hole here while getting caught on every effing brake line on the way out. There we go. And that big old honky piece of shit is out. Alright, so what we're going to end up doing now is modifying that shaft down there for the pinch bolt to sit on top of instead of underneath. I'm going to be using a 90-degree die grinder with a rotary file on it. And first I'll have to stick the new shaft in place, mark where it stops, and then I'll start grinding away. So that is essentially pushed all the way up in there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn the shaft clockwise and counterclockwise just so I can mark inside the bolt hole on where it's two sides I need to meet my die grinder on. Alright, so I got the shaft all the way on here, so I'm going to spin it so that the holes are up like that. So you can see that? So the holes are up so I can mark it. I'm going to just turn it all the way over and mark from the other side some. Then I know where to grind. So I've left it up at a little bit of an angle so that I can get my die grinder in there without any problems. So I'm going to pull this shaft out and I'm going to get ready. That having the shaft on an angle helps a little bit, so you can drop this right on there and go as deep as you want to. But I'm not going to show you the process. I don't have a cameraman. That'd be me. So the rotary tool on my 90-degree ain't made like really quick work of this. I think I only had to grind for about 30 seconds. The hard part of this job is pretty much done. Next, I'm going to pull out this bearing up top. I wanted to leave that in there until I got it done. And basically there's the clip, the cap, and then the bearing, and it comes out. I'll try to show you some of that, but I don't think I'll be able to. So all you had to do was remove this clip, which I did with my fingers, and then slide the cup off. I didn't have to use any tools. It's that easy. What I really want to show you is this is the piece that it comes with. It's a hollow piece of plastic with rubber on both ends. And here's the replacement. It has an actual bearing in there. So I'm going to be slapping that back in there right now, and we'll be right back. So the new bearing is seated in there. I just have to install the new clap. Which lines up just like this. And then you put the spring clip on. I'm not going to show you guys that because I need two hands for it. Here's the finished product on that. Next, and I hope you can see what I'm doing, is we will take this and slide her up onto there. Pausing the video. So now we'll just put that bolt in there. Hopefully if I get my steering wheel back exact, we'll be able to just pull this back and she'll slide right on the steering gear. But she won't, so all I have to do is put my key in so that I have a little side-to-side motion on that. And don't worry about it, it's got a nice slotted key on there, so you don't have to worry about messing that up. Unless you spun your steering wheel a few times, which I didn't do. So that's done. See, it's trying to go on. It's loose. Let me take it out, see if it makes any difference. I'm gonna get from behind it, give it a couple taps with a hammer, but it's pretty much on there. All right, there it is installed. Got the whole thing done. It's a lot cleaner, neater. I like that it was painted black and cleaned up for me. Next is a test drive, and I'll tell you guys how that went. All right, folks, let's close this thing up. So, as far as noise while I'm driving, I didn't notice an increase in that. The only thing I did notice is that you do get the pump noise when you're making like 90-degree turns. So I can live with that. I mean, I'm riding around with the air conditioner on low and no radio on. If I had the radio on and the top down on us, I probably wouldn't hear none of that, just the exhaust and everything else. So I can live with that. As far as responsiveness, made a big difference. That wobble that I had is gone now, so I'm happy for that. I would suggest anybody, if they wanted to do this, if you're okay with a little bit of pump noise when you make a left and right turn, then do it. If you're too particular, then don't do it. But I found it to be a good upgrade for the car, and I like it, and that's how it's going to be. So I want to say thank you for all my subscribers and all the people who view the videos, and ask you, if you haven't already, like and subscribe this video, and stay tuned for the next one. Catch you next time.